Hey guys, it's your humble host, or Rekieta if you prefer, so I'm back with maybe a small rant video. I'm gonna try not to rant, but it is the way. So, this is gonna be an expansion upon some of the stuff I talked about in my channel update video in regards to Rekieta Law. For those of you who have been around my channel before, possibly remember this is not the first time I've done this with this hearth. This hearth is from a streaming show I used to have called By the Hearth. And suffice to say, I really hate the fact that I have to do this video because I'm having some serious regret right now. For those of you who have been around my channel for a while, you guys know I'm a part of a certain case. I'm not a big part, not by any way or means, but a part nonetheless, help covering, make sure the page runs smoothly, try to get certain posts on there, and what have you. So with my channel now being attached to this page, I have avoided doing certain things online in part because of this fact, and other parts of it are mental exhaustion and just busy. So, but save James being a part of it. And so there's people who have reached out to the page who have wanted to have Jeff on to interview him, and there's some groups we have told no to because we went digging and went, no, this is not a good thing, this is not even a good idea, ignore. So when it comes to Rekieta Law, no, he did not reach out to the page. I reached out to him personally because I found him respectable at the time, and a lot of the things he said were very much along the lines of the conversations I've had with my own father, with Jeff Younger, and a lot of other people who also follow the page, including some people from Father's Rights groups. You have Dead Talk, Eric Carroll. So, all this to say, I found Rekieta Law respectable. So, what I did, because Rekieta Law became very vocal against certain things, I put him in contact with Jeff Younger. Nick had kind of already heard about the case already, and I can't remember if it was from me posting in the Discord or if somebody else had spoke to him about it. I don't remember. I don't claim to be the sole source for Nick Rekieta on that. But there were very few of us who could put people in contact with Jeff Younger. And so I did so. Interview proved to be a success. And Nick seemed to get more vocal about certain things afterwards. And some of the stuff that he would talk about was actually very deep. And I wanted to kind of hear more being a wife, because there's some struggles in regards to husbands and men that I don't understand. And I can never understand completely because I'm a woman. That's just how it is. Link in the description below, the small playlist, because I put this in the last description of my update video. Show a lot of the things, certain things, that I would come into the stream and Nick would just start talking of very deep things of whether it's the father's role, of how he would put his house before his YouTube channel, including his own kids, and some of the moments I saw, like the interactions he had with his kids when they interrupted his stream. Like there's one in particular that Law Nerd Clips captured was when his little girl, you could tell, was off screen, and the way that Nick was looking down, and just the way that he smiled at her. It's like, oh, there's that daddy smile. It warmed my heart to see. And then you had another, I don't remember which stream it was, where Nick got interrupted by another one of his children, and you can tell it's one of the wee ones. And so he pretty much got upset, hey, I'll be right back, I gotta go do dad things. I'm like, hey, you know what, that's cool. He's not getting cranky when interrupted. He's like, oh, hey guys, I'll be right back. My kid needs me. Give me a few. And I thought that was like one of the coolest freaking things, because of all the streamers I've watched, I had never really seen that before. Or it wasn't really prominent, but I just, oh no, scratch that. The umbrella guy. The other person I saw that with was with the umbrella guy. But there were very few streamers I saw those interactions with when they were interrupted via stream, whether it's by children or spouses or whoever else was in the room. So, my respect for Rekieta Law grew, and I used to clip him a lot. My schedule changed and other stuff changed, so I didn't clip him as much, and then I stopped clipping him all together. I think it was more after the Sophie Long stuff. But yeah, I wasn't able to catch the streams anymore. So I wasn't able to clip him as much. Anyway, so I fell off from watching his streams for a while, and that's kind of like that where I go maybe a week or two at a time, not really knowing what's going on, and I'll come back to certain stuff, whether it was stuff the Discord certain people had left, or something with the YouTube channel. I came back at one point, found Nick had been banned from YouTube. I wasn't present watching the stream when it happened. I just saw clips. So things like that. So what I came back to 2 weeks ago, has it been 2 weeks now? 3? Is very, very interesting photos being floated around, and it's just like, well, what are you doing? You've talked about how you weren't going to do this. Or how you've made fun of other people for doing this, posting lewd photos, and I can understand maybe a joke photo here and there, but that's not what they were, and it's only escalated to where have locals and KiwiFarms, because I've been reading Nick's thread, because I don't want to immerse myself in the streams. I don't want to immerse myself in the local chats, because no thank you, because from what I'm hearing now, it is nothing but quote-unquote wine moms posting their nasty lewds, and it's like, ooh, dude, really? So, anyway, what I've come back to is sheer fuckery, and I'm trying to wrap my brain around it because I'm not sure what went wrong and where. There is speculation that something happened during Rekieta Law's coverage of the Johnny Depp trial, where it's described as, and I'm just quoting this, he came back as a moody bitch. Talked about something, how it was the worst day in his life, and things just kind of seem to have changed from there. I do know that he started to bring his wife more onto streams, and at first it was kind of a wholesome thing. It's like, oh, hey, it's his lady, cool, hi, how you doing? And then she started to pop up more, and I talked about this on my last video, to where Nick Rekieta was sitting there drinking and just allowed her to dump truck everything, talking about her medication. She was overly expressive, she looked wired, she looked frayed, and he was not taking the reins, and it's just like, what are you guys doing? This is exposing too much. And then it has become worse, where he's flaunting, oh, my wife is taking me to a gay bar for my birthday in our underwear. We went to this trip, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. KiwiFarms was able to suss that out, and it looks like it's a swingers resort. So people have called me a prude in the past, or an old church lady, or whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. I embrace it, because it keeps me out of a lot of nasty shit, and it keeps me out of a lot of trouble. So when I have someone who put the impression of a traditional God-fearing family man, for the most part, on an audience, it made me put a very hard-fighting, very dedicated, very exhausted father in a very much dire custody case on or connected with this said individual. And a few years later, for this individual to turn around and just, I don't know, 3 sheets to the wind, let's just fuck everything else I said prior, what I stood for, and let's go be freaking freaks of nature. Like, I am having feelings of regret. I was not personally close with Rekieta. I am obviously one of his viewers. I was not someone he DM'd. Not really. And so, still, I'm kind of speaking on behalf of the page. I'm not speaking for every admin of the page themselves, but I'm speaking for the page, so to speak, because, again, when we had certain people reach out to the page wanting to give Jeff an interview, or looking into see who we could reach out to spread the story, to get more eyeballs on the story, we were careful. There's people we told no, or there's people we never knocked on the door for. So when the person I knocked on the door for, not only the father was on his show, and then for him to freaking turn around and go, oh, well, you're just pressing your values onto me. You know, I should have got, because I did mention this to the other admins of it was on one stream, I don't remember the title, but Nick had spoke about in passing how his sister transitioned from female to male. Yes, that was a thing. It was a very quick passing, but I zoomed on it very quickly and went, what? And then talked about how he had donated to a camp for trans kids, and allegedly they don't do the trans version of conversion therapy while pushing the idea of medical transition. I zoned in on that thing too, and I just went, what? So I kind of stupidly, because this is in hindsight, I was very stupid for this, passed that off as, well, this is kind of a painful subject because it looks like the trans cult got to one of his family members and it has impacted them in different ways. And to me, from what the impression was left, is like, this is a camp for gender confused kids who are working through these struggles. They're not being brainwashed. That's the impression I got. But now looking back on it with everything else that's starting to come out, I'm just like, did I fuck up somewhere? And I can't remember if that bit came out before or after the interview with Jeff Younger. I want to say it was possibly after, not before, because had I heard that before, I would have had second thoughts, going like, maybe we need more info on this, or see if he'll talk about this more before we do this. It had to have been after. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm legit pissed. I am legit freaking pissed. When I saw the photos floating around, I actually went to some of the admins like, hey, kind of a heads up. I don't know if, we need to do anything, because he's now starting to do this, and we've kind of advertised him on the page a bit, because he's covered certain things and had the interview with Jeff, and we agreed, hey, just keep an eye on it, and if it gets worse, yeah. So, and it's unfortunately gotten worse, and people who, I know got a little bit closer to Nick or was able to DM him more, are putting out clips, Elissa Clips being one of them, link in the description below, of a very particular clip. She puts a stream clip from like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, to where Nick and Drex are talking about how, yeah, hey, don't put nudes online. That's stupid. It's forever. Versus the new clip of Nick pretty much saying, hey, he's okay with it now. So it's a complete 180. I mean, she's got more stuff on her channel. She's been slowly releasing stuff, and she'll release stuff at the right time. So go check those out below. You will see what I'm talking about. So, and then my draw to Nick was just how respectable he seemed with his interactions with his kids on stream when they interrupted him, and how vocal he got about certain things. And I got introduced to Nick Rekieta when the Kumite and Takasaw got exposed and freaking imploded. I was there watching that live stream with Ethan Ralph because, you know, I used to watch Ralph too. Don't anymore. Hell no. Where Keemstar came on to confront Tonkasaw, Jim. I think there was somebody else. Oh, it was Andy Worski, I believe. And then they surprised him with Rekieta Law. And this was, at the time, I didn't even know he was. I'm like, okay, who the hell is this? This guy's freaking funny. And so I started to check some stuff out, watch some of his law coverage. And I'm not really a law nut, but I've learned some things. And then this stuff with Vic Mignogna started. I wasn't a Vic Mignogna fan, but had a distressed friend come to me in DMs like, hey, this is what's going on. Can you look into this? And it just went from there. So I've been following for about 4 to 5 years now, on and off. And suffice to say, I can't. People change, but this is not a change I like or really agree with, and especially bringing on or connecting Nick to someone who's very respectable, very much seen as a warrior in his circles because of what he's fighting against and how he refuses to back down. And I'm speaking about Jeff Younger, of course. So for me, I'm just looking at this going, I fucked up somewhere. Because either I missed red flags because there's a lot of streams I didn't watch, or I just something. I feel like I fucked up and I'm regretting bringing this in such a way, the Save James stuff, to Rekieta Law. Like, I hate to say that. I really freaking do, because the interview itself was good. I watched a little bit of it when I was on patrol for my first security company, and then I went back and watched it some more, and I even have a copy of it now. But I just, part of me regrets this shit, because it's like, damn, what in the world? And the stuff with Rekieta and his wife, again, I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. But this is going to be just catastrophic when it, and plus because it will. They've invited the entire internet into their bedroom. It just, Nick doesn't want to hear anything from anybody, and anybody who tries to like give him legit critiques like, hey man, you might want to cool your jets, kind of steer course a little bit, it's kind of called prudes and incels. And it's like really insulting, because it's like, dude, you preached vehemently against this crap 1 to 2 years ago. You made fun of people for doing the same shit you're doing now, and then just like there's drugs involved. Like, okay. So for those of you who have not read the thread or listened to some of the streams, because I did hear this part of some of his streams where him and his wife went to Jamaica and they talked about doing shrooms or whatnot, and I just, again, it's just like, okay, that was stupid, but you know, it's out of your system, whatever. And then there's speculation and there's talk of how he still uses drugs, and one of them being ecstasy. They're calling it something else, like MD something. I don't freaking remember. But it's just like, you're using drugs now, dude? Is that what's going on? Is that why you're acting like a fucking Fruit Loop now? So, yeah, no, drugs do all kinds of freaking nasty shit to people. Not even once. Don't even do them once. So I am so blown away, and people are saying that this is being spearheaded by Kayla or Lady Rackets. And I'm seeing more digging now, and this is gonna be my last video. I believe I should not have a legitimate reason to make another one. But I'm going to say this again, and I know this is pearls before swine. My words aren't going to be heeded. I'm nobody to Nick. Don't claim to be. I'm just a watcher, viewer. That's about it. But I'm going to say this one more fucking time, and I'm going to be a little bit more blunt. This is not the first YouTube couple I've seen take this downward spiral that ended up in hell. Again, I have brought up Armored Skeptic and Shoe on Head as one of the biggest internet couples. This was quite a few years ago when the skeptic community was around, those guys who freaking rally and preach against God and try to say, oh, what's all in your head? So no, they were a huge, huge freaking couple. There was fan art, there was all kinds of stuff of these two. And they got engaged. I think they were engaged for like maybe 5 years. I don't remember. And then shit imploded. And Gray came out to be a freaking scumbag. There was actually red flags of this on his channel where he talked about dumping his Christian marriage for porn. I'm not even bullshitting. It was in a video that he did in response to Black Pigeon Speaks and the effects of porn in society. I can't find the damn video anymore. I thought I downloaded it, didn't. Long story short, you guys, Rekietas, are not the first one to do this dumb fucking shit. You guys are not the first one to go, oh, hey, let's go exhibitionist. This is going to freaking solve everything. This is going to spice stuff up. No, it's fucking not. This is going to end in divorce or something much, much worse. So please, for the sake of your own marriage and your kids, fucking reach out to somebody. Get off the internet. Again, I know this is all pearls before swine. You don't have to tell me twice. So many people are so frustrated and just pissed and disappointed and sad because of the sheer hypocrisy, and they're just like, hey man, you're gonna crash your damn ship into the iceberg. You need to change course like now. And others are gonna go, you know what, we're just gonna fucking shit and laugh at this and throw more gasoline because fuck this, we're done. So I'm not going to say any more. There's nothing much more for me to say. I am pissed. I'm really pissed. I sat on this for a week, and brought it to certain people. We were waiting to see if this got any better or if this changed, and it's not. It's only getting worse. There's now, like I said, gay bars, drugs, other shit I'm sure is going to freaking come out. So this is, I'm like, oh, I gotta make a video now. Dave James is done with this. And I can't speak for all the admins, obviously, but I know I can speak for the page effectively and well enough to go, yeah, no, we're done. We're just freaking done. I appreciate Rekieta bringing Jeff on. I really do. But this is garbage. This is complete and utter bullshit. One of the links I had put in the description below of my update video as the clips that I got and the stuff that I heard, and it just, kind of spoke to me as a wife of almost 10 years, because there's still struggles I don't understand as a wife for my husband. There's stuff I will never understand to an or only understand to an extent because I'm a woman, and that's fine. I'm not meant to understand everything, and I'm not a guy. I can't understand a man's struggles like the way that they understand their own struggles, if that makes sense. But just, oh my god, I am so freaking frustrated. I gotta clean stuff out now. But yeah, no, done. Just freaking done. I wish you the best of luck, Rekieta. I hope to God you guys get help, because as many people describe this as a cry for help. And I really, in general, don't want to see any relationship freaking implode. Divorce is nasty. It's disgusting. It's just, it breaks a home and it leaves scars. And not all scars will heal effectively or all the way. Such is life. But oh my god, for your own sakes, for your kids, for your marriage, for your house, watch one of the clips below, maybe hearing your own words echoed back at you again, talking about how being being effective in your own sphere first before you start to have an impact on the world, or even try to, or maybe watch one of your own clips that I have below, talking about how you put your house, your kids, and your wife before you're freaking streaming shit and anything else, which you don't seem to be doing anymore. Again, I can go on. There's several clips floating around. Maybe you won't hear your own words anymore. I don't fucking know. But there's something wrong with you guys, and I wish you guys the best. I hope you guys can correct course, but c'est la vie, such is life. Not everybody learns. So I'm done. I'm out. Dave James is done with this crap.